Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is a little different from normal, and I'm much more dressed up than I have been in my other videos. You may have seen this suit in some of my music performance videos if you have checked those videos out. I'm sure you clicked on this video because you were interested in the topic, and that is why choose made to measure or made to order or bespoke. The reason why I'm not discussing what these things are is because they've already been discussed in plenty of other videos. If you'd like to go check those videos out, please go and click on the link over here. Now, the first thing I want to establish is that famous designer brands are not part of this discussion. They don't offer either made to order, made to measure, or bespoke options. And just because something costs a lot of money does not make it good quality in turn. Now, in my view, there are two big reasons why someone would choose the made to or bespoke routes. The first one is that ready-to-wear is not an option for them. Say you're looking into suits and you're a football player. You're probably going to have some pretty bulky shoulders, and you're not going to be able to fit into a typical jacket. Something like a made to order or a made to measure rather, or a bespoke suit would fit you much better than something that you would get just from, say, a Men's Wearhouse or a Nordstrom. Now, if we're going to talk about shoes, that's a whole nother beast in itself. I'll talk a little bit more about it in detail in a little bit, but I do want to give a quick little summary, and that is if you have abnormalities with your foot, such as bunions, hammer toe, or if you just have some other orthotic issues, a bespoke shoe is probably to be better for you than something you're going to get off the shelf. Now, the second reason why you'd want to go the made to or bespoke route is simply because you want to naturally progress from the ready to wear stuff. Made to measure or bespoke apparel will tend to be centered around your measurements and your measurements alone, which makes it a unique sort of purchase. Before I continue, I will say that there is one big thing that needs to be considered, and that is doing your research is key. Now, something mentioned on Hugo Giacome's Sartorial Talks is that a great article of clothing that is ready to wear will always be better than a bad made to measure article of clothing. And that's why I mentioned doing your research. I don't think any one of us wants to buy something that is custom made for us that winds up being a worse product than something we can get off the shelves. Now, let's discuss our terms a little more, and I will give examples to go along with these terms. Now, something that is made to order or made to measure is something I would consider a modified ready to wear. It is not part of the standard line. So let's take a look at shoes for a second. Allen Edmonds and Alden offer shoes ready to go in their stores and online. That is ready to wear, meaning there is no need for you to make any adjustments. It is right there, ready to go. They can ship it to you in a heartbeat. Now, for shoes, the only option before going full bespoke is made to order. Companies like J. Fitzpatrick, Carmina, and Gazziano and Girling all have strong made-to-order programs that will let you choose the type of shoe you want, the model of the shoe, of course, the color of the leathers, the length and width, the type of last which the shoe is built around, and the outsole. This means you are building a shoe that is just for you, though it is still considerably made in the same fashion as something that is off the shelf. Now let's talk about suits. I mentioned that I got this from Men's Wearhouse, ready to go. Brooks Brothers is another example of a store that offers a lot of ready-to-wear options. Once we start touching into the made-to-order and made-to-measure stuff, then we're starting to talk about stores like Suit Supply, which has a great custom program. The custom program is considerably a made-to-order program because you are able to choose the fabric, the lining, and everything about the suit that you want, except it is not custom measured to you. A company like Spear & Mackay, for example, when you go and have a custom suit done through them, you have the option of having it done made to order or made to measure, because Spear & Mackay offers a place for you to enter your measurements, and therefore your suit will be a made to measure suit. Now, of course, there's also a traditional made to measure suit, which you go in person to get measured for, and you can also custom make your suit. And then, of course, there's bespoke. Naturally, not everyone offers bespoke. Here's what you do get if you do choose to go bespoke, though. You get something that is 100% handmade just for you. You get to choose everything about what you want, and I think the quintessential thing about bespoke anything is that you will create and maintain relationships with your craftsmen who are making your stuff. And I want to put it out there that Bespoke isn't just for gentlemen, it is also for ladies as well. Say you go to the renowned tailor Huntsman & Sons. They will talk to you about how Katharine Hepburn was one of their famous clients. Of course, that's just one I can name off the top of my head, and I'm sure they have plenty of other famous women who were also clients of theirs. Though, of course, something made to order, made to measure, or bespoke is going to be more expensive than something that is ready to wear off the shelf. However, I also want to say that more expensive is also relative to where you purchase that item from. If I'm just going to compare two ready-to-wear locations, Men's Warehouse is generally less expensive than a Brooks Brothers will be. Now, each shoemaker is going to have their own prices for their made-to-order and bespoke programs. For example, J. Fitzpatrick, his made-to-order shoes start at around $550, whereas Carmina's made-to-order shoes start at around $650. And then, of course, the third company which I mentioned, Gaziano & Girling, their made-to-order shoes begin at 1,200 pounds sterling. And then, of course, if we talk about everything bespoke shoe, each shoemaker is going to have their own prices for their bespoke offerings. Now, sometimes ready-to-wear just isn't an option, and you need to go either made-to-order or made-to-measure or full bespoke. For example, Huntsman & Sons, their tailoring offerings are only full bespoke. Whereas someone like a Gaziano & Girling, they offer all three things: ready-to-wear, made-to-order, and bespoke. Of course, I want to touch on something that I've talked about in my last two videos. Why purchase something more expensive? Isn't something more expensive going to be more delicate? Not necessarily. Maybe something about the more expensive material is more expensive in itself, in just the raw material. Maybe it's also the labor that goes into it. Say something bespoke. I think the big reason for the price is the amount of labor that goes into the product. Typically, something bespoke is going to outlast something that is ready to wear. And I think that's because it is a labor of love that goes into bespoke that is not seen in the same fashion as something that is ready to wear. Now let's look at a company I've mentioned a few times already, and that's Gaziano & Girling. Their ready-to-wear shoes, their top-end ready-to-wear shoes start at around 900 pounds. Then we jump over to the bespoke program, and we're looking at probably a starting point of 3,500 pounds or maybe even more. That is a significant price difference between the ready-to-wear and the bespoke. And even though on the ready-to-wear they use a lot of the same material that goes into their bespoke shoes, the bespoke shoes, because it is 100% handmade and it takes a lot more time to make the product, it is going to cost more naturally. And then of course there's the big cost analysis of why you should get something more expensive than something that is cheap. And that is generally that the more expensive, well-made product, mind you, will outlast something that is cheaply made, that is ready to wear. Let me give you an example. Say I hold on to this suit for the rest of my life. Then let's say I go to a different London tailor, Henry Poole & Company, and I get a fully bespoke outfit from them. This costs around $300, whereas the bespoke suit probably costs around 3,000 to 4,000 pounds to make. However, by the time I'm 40, this suit may be in shambles, whereas the Henry Poole bespoke suit will probably last until the day I'm dead. That also depends on how often I choose to wear the suits. So I say there's nothing wrong if you want to get something that is going to cost a lot more money and it is going to outlast, particularly if you know how often you are going to wear your shoes or your suit, for example. So thank you for watching today's video. I want to wish every single mother out there, including my own, a happy Mother's Day. And if you want to, please check out my other videos, and I hope you subscribe for more content like this in the future, or if you are interested in watching some of my music performance content. Until then, I will see you all later.